1, 2, 3. What's happening, tubes? So I am at my local Toyota dealer where I normally buy vehicles from, and I bought another truck. So I started having problems with my Silverado, which, don't get me wrong, I love that truck, but the warranty was going to expire. And I do drive a lot. I travel a lot. So I picked up a 2025 Toyota Tundra SR. I know somebody's going to say, well, that's base. Why didn't you get the SR5? Because this was $45,000 and some change, and I wasn't going to pay an additional $10,000 to $15,000 more. And I also got 2.99% interest on this truck. So, you know, that's pretty good. Now, it's not loaded or anything, and a lot of people wouldn't like those wheels and tires. And I don't really care. They go round. They are doing what they are designed to do. This tows more than what I'll ever need it to tow. This will do everything that I need it to do as an average, you know, DIYer. So it does have, I guess you can call that a keyless entry. So it's got enough goodies in here for me. Oh, it doesn't have the 14-inch screen. I didn't want all of that. I just did not want all of that. I'm sorry, but that's just not what I wanted. And oh, it didn't come with floor mats. I can buy custom floor mats that are specifically made for this vehicle for like $130 from Last Fit. It's perfectly fine for me. Some people wouldn't like it because, well, it doesn't produce as much as the SR5 and above in terms of power. We're only talking about a 30 to 40 horsepower difference. So that doesn't bother me. I do have a 100,000 mile warranty on it, 3-year, 36,000 mile bumper to bumper warranty on it, 5-year, 60,000 mile powertrain, and then the extended comes in up until 100,000 miles. I do have free oil changes for as long as I own this vehicle. Up underneath the hood is a twin turbo 3.4 liter V6 engine. This thing will get up and go. I mean, the 30 or 40 extra horsepower from the SR5, I can't really tell the difference. Now in the hybrid variant, it produces, I think, 430 something horsepower. I could be wrong, but you know, I just didn't want to spend the extra money. There's no need in it. I don't care. I'm not trying to appease anyone out there. This does what I needed to do. You do have one air box on the left side of the vehicle with one mass airflow sensor right there, and you also have another one. So you have 2 air boxes, which means 2 air filters and 2 mass airflow sensors. They moved the battery to over here. You know, I can understand why, because they had to put another box here, but you know what they could have done? They could have made the truck just a little bit bigger, and they could have taken this intake right here and routed it over there to that side, kind of like Ford did with their EcoBoost, but I guess they just wanted to be different. This engine has had its fair share of issues, and I understand somebody's going to say that in the comment section, and that's fine, but this thing is under full warranty. So if I have any issues, they give me a loaner, and that's that. I'm pleasantly surprised about how well it rides. It does have remote start, and I'll show that here in a few moments. However, when you do remote start the vehicle dies upon entry. So when you open the door, it dies. That's just a Toyota thing. They're supposed to be rectifying that. Some Tacomas have it rectified, some other vehicles don't, but it is what it is. A friend of mine said it kind of looks like RoboCop because of the black and the silver. I'd have to agree with him. Am I going to change out the wheels and tires? No. Is it four-wheel drive? No, it is not four-wheel drive. It is two-wheel drive. I'm not going to pay an additional $10,000 for, you know, something that I'm pretty much not ever going to use. So I had four-wheel drive on my Chevrolet, and I literally never, hardly ever used it. So, you know, the guy that I used to know that told me, says, well, you're hardly ever going to use it. He was right. Now they did something different here. You notice it does not have leaf springs. That's because they went to a all coil over suspension system. At least that's what I was told. Now, that's not something that is new to the automotive industry, because Ram has been doing it for years. That's where I bought the vehicle at, Toyota of Jackson. So you notice it's brand new. I wonder why. So there is your coilovers right there. Hey, they did put a drain plug in the rear end differential. GM, take notes. Interesting, very interesting. It looks like that's a one-piece drive shaft. On the older Tundras, it was a two-piece drive shaft. Automatic e-brake. At least you got a full-size spare tire here. Excuse my Crocs. If you don't like them, don't wear them. So, oh, that's the garbage man doing his job. So, they changed the gas tank. So, they put the gas tank right here, but you notice you don't fill it up over here. You fill it up right here. So the filler is right here, and it goes all the way over there to the gas tank. Don't ask me why they did that. That's just what Toyota did. Now, the transmission is a 10-speed, and here's the thing about that. That 10-speed, as far as I know, is the same 10-speed automatic that is supplied for the Rams. At least that's what I was told. Have they had trouble out of them? From my understanding, a few of them have had issues, but you know, only time will tell. It still has a mechanical fan, and if you notice right there, there's a switch that is on that said mechanical fan. So they finally caught up with GM on that. The other thing about this is that this has two belts. So it has a serpentine belt and it has an AC belt. They finally caught up with GM on that because the 5.3 liter, and pretty much every GM that I have ever driven and owned has that same setup. Which is kind of smart, because if the AC compressor fails by locking up, at least you'll be able to get to where you're going. You won't have ice cold air. You won't have a defroster for your windshield. But, hey, at least you'll be able to get to where you're going. Now, this engine is direct injected. It's also, I do believe, multi-port injected as well. This engine also has aluminum heads and aluminum blocks. Now, Toyota had said that the whole issue with these engines failing was machining debris at the time of manufacturing. I don't know how I feel about that in terms of if they're being truthful about it or not, but I think these engines are made in Alabama. Now the truck is manufactured in Texas. So somebody's going to say, but it's Japanese. You're right, it's a Japanese brand, just like Hyundai is Korean. Guess what? My wife's Santa Fe was manufactured in Montgomery, Alabama. The Kia Telluride, the Kia Sorento, manufactured in Georgia. Hey look, there's two other trucks like mine. How dare they make more than one? Made in USA. Now, somebody's gonna say, well, it was assembled. Well, they do assemble these, yes, but they also make these panels at the San Antonio plant in Texas. The doors, the bed, so this came with a spray and liner. Now it doesn't have an inverter in the back of it like some of them do, and it's not like I used mine a whole lot anyway in the Silverado. It doesn't have the step here, but I could always add that if I wanted it. It doesn't have that fancy button where you could push and pull the tailgate down. I didn't want all that. However, it does have the rear window that goes all the way down. Now, I'm really not into car reviews like TRD John and Tundra Dude 34, I think his name is. Look, they will say anything and everything just to get invited for anything that Toyota does. Me, I don't care. If I know that a product is a pile of garbage, I'm going to tell you that a product is a pile of garbage. However, I have owned Tundras in the past, and the third generation, I think it's a fugly truck. I just think it's a fugly truck. Once again, it's not ugly, it's fugly. But this is what we got. It did come with LED headlights, LED tail lights. I'll show you that in just a moment. And they love using pink coolant. You know, that looks like a lighter version of Pepto-Bismol. Gen Z, don't drink that. Don't drink that. We all know your reputation with Tide Pods. But overall, it seems to be a pretty decent truck. I don't really care about the tech aspect. I can't do anything about the wind. But I think we might be having some storms come through here later today. Let me go turn on the lights. And here you go. LED. Now I think the turn signals are not LED. I think they're halogen. Somebody told me that these are different from the higher trims. I really don't care. And I don't have fog lights. Don't care about that either. Let's go to the rear of the vehicle. You can tell it's LED. Now, it's not flashing what you're seeing on the screen, but that's the way it looks. Oh, and your tag lights. Now, we call them tags here in the South. Up north, they call them license plates. Potato, potato. You do got your, you know, adapters for your trailer. I put that on there. That's from the Silverado I had. They put the exhaust on the left side of the vehicle. Somebody was calling. But anyway, they put the exhaust on the left side of the vehicle versus the right. You have LED cab lights. Let's go inside this thing. I didn't get any running boards. I can order them offline and put them in myself. Push button start. So this is what I was averaging. Some people have been talking bad about the fuel economy in it. That's still better than the old 5.7 liter V8. This thing will move a lot faster than the 5.7 V8. I'm sorry, I get it. It's probably more reliable, and probably is an understatement of the year. Electric power steering. This thing is very nice. My Chevrolet had that. Auto hold, which it will not work unless you have your seatbelt buckled. I'm not sponsored by Toyota. I'm not sponsored by this dealership. Now, as you see, electric power steering. I don't know if that truck has a sticker on it, but this is a TRD Pro right here. And there's an SR5. Now, I'll show you what I paid for mine, which is right there. Here's all. You can pause that and read that if you would like. The sound system for being bass sounds pretty good. I don't like JBL sound systems, not from Toyota. They're just garbage. I just hate to break it to you. That came with running boards. I would hope so for the money. And that's an SR5. There's no way in hell I would pay almost $82,000 for this truck. No way. No way. Absolutely not. Oh, it's got that big old screen. I don't care about any of that. Oh, it's got mode selector and four-wheel drive. I don't care about any of that. Like, I just don't. Heated steering wheel. I don't. TRD light bar. I don't care about any of that. And it doesn't even have the premium sound system, because it would probably say JBL on it. Here's an SR5. Actually, two of them. No, this is the SX package. $56,557. So that's $11,000 and some change more than what I paid for mine. Wow. And the only difference is it has a mode selector. Oh, here you go. Here's a 1794. I didn't know they made these in black. Huh. Interesting. Let's look at this one. $78,000. No way, man. No way. That's got automatic running boards. Nice. No way. I just can't do it. They want too much money for a higher trim package truck. I'm sorry, I can't do it. Now, somebody's going to ask about the TRD and come over and look at the suspension and all that. It's got a set of Falcons on it. I don't need any of that. Oh, but it's a hybrid. It's meant for power. I don't care about any of that, man. I just don't. It's a pickup truck. That is a very tiny car. That's a GR too. Wow. That is an extremely tiny car. No, I'm not even gonna try to get in it. I'm like 6'3", 250 pounds. I'm not even gonna try to get in that. I feel like I could break the damn thing just by looking at it. I'm happy with this. Now, if I was to change out the wheels and tires, I would probably go with either that style right there, or that style, which is pretty much the same wheel, just powder coated. Which you can find these off of Marketplace all day long. Say you've got the Toyota running boards. You know they're gonna charge you up the butt for that. I'm happy with this. It's got everything I need. Oh, I was gonna show you the remote start. Because I know somebody's gonna say, no. Here's the remote. So, 1, 2, 1, 2. Then you hold on the third one. I just had its own button on the Chevrolet. 1, 2, 3. Now you saw. However, it died. Toyota does this, Subaru does. Sorry, my phone cut off because it hooked up to the Bluetooth. Anyway, Subaru does that, BMW does it, and so does Toyota. It's supposed to be for safety, but my Silverado doesn't do it. My wife's Santa Fe doesn't do it. So